transforming psychoeducational practice into a detailed record of parents' experiences of the strategic model to enhance their children's locus of control.
Mr. Pro Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Genevieve da Silva the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Genevieve da Silva.
Mr. Pro Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Sarah N. Hoofler for the degree of Doctor of Education. I request her supervisor, Professor L.J. van Niekerk, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Teachers often do not know how to motivate their students. In her thesis entitled Pinpointing Motivation, an investigation into the motivational factors in a German language education classroom, Sarah Ann Hoofler thoroughly investigates factors influencing student motivation in a German language classroom in Florida in the USA. She conducted meticulous action research and an extensive literature review in order to document the evolutionary process of researching student motivation in studying a foreign language. Her findings constitute a powerful body of evidence on the intricacies of motivation in the foreign language classroom. The co-supervisor was Professor Johannes Serotu.
Mr. Pro Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Sarah N. Hoofler the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Sarah Ann Hoofler.
Pro Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Krista Morehouse for the degree of Doctor of Education. I request her supervisor, Professor G.D. Gamber, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled A Strategic Conversation Model to Optimize Return on Occupational Training Expectations, Krista Morehouse postulates that communication problems are at the heart of the challenges which are experienced in managing education, training and development, ETD, in companies. On the basis of a scholarly review and empirical findings, the study proposes strategic conversation as a method to address the performance shortcomings experienced by business and ETD managers. The novel contribution of this study is the development of a strategic conversation model to ensure optimal efficiency in ETD management and the fulfillment of corporate training expectations.
Mr. Pro Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Krista Morehouse the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Krista Morehouse.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Adrienne for the degree of Doctor of Education. I request your supervisor, Professor M.P. van Niekerk, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis entitled Multiculturalism and Education in Canada, Transcending Fundamentalism in Liberal Culture, Adrienne thoroughly investigates the inherent tensions between theories of liberalism and multiculturalism in the educational history of Canada. She exposes the preoccupation of the mechanics of what qualifies as good citizenship and confusing divisive implications which official policies of neutrality and inclusiveness have for the Canadian state. She therefore suggests a critical third way to overcome inherent tensions. She recommends that liberalism must be more flexible and multiculturalism be limited in educational practice to adhere to real social justice. She further recommends the funding of public schools with a liberal, religious or cultural focus with similar curriculum requirements and constitutional adherence to issues of secular equality. These public-focused schools will regularly interact on issues of diversity and citizenship building within the context of respectful commitment to fostering real dialogue and a real understanding of identity and culture within a liberal frame.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Adrienne the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Adrienne Rosen.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Dennis Signolo for the degree of Doctor of Education. I request his supervisor, Professor R.H.M. van der Merwe, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled A Strategy for Managing Teacher Migration in Southern Africa, Dennis Signolo develops a framework to manage teacher migration in Southern Africa viably. This is done by balancing the right of individual teachers to migrate internationally while protecting the integrity of vulnerable education systems and the human resources. This framework makes a major contribution to improving the practice of teacher migration with a systemized and coordinated database on migrating teachers, supported by a common policy and legal framework which involves both sending and receiving countries. Comprehensively considered, the study contributes to the discourse on sustained teaching in Southern Africa.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request request you to confer on Dennis Signolo the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Dennis Signolo.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Rantsabo Daniel Tsinye for the degree of Doctor of Education. I have been requested to read, excuse me, Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Maila. I'll request Professor Maila to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree on behalf of the supervisor, Professor Cheryl Leroux, who is not well tonight.
In his thesis entitled The Status of Environmental Literacy and Christian Environmental Stewardship in Selected Training Institutions of the Uniting Reformed Church in Southern Africa, Reverend Rantsabo Daniel Tsinye endeavored to determine the extent to which the curricula at selected EXA training institutions provide training in environmental stewardship as a dimension of the Christian stewardship ethic, using a mixed method approach, the level of understanding and stance of ministers, lecturers, and stewards of EXA on these issues was sought. The research indicated that there is no dispute that Christian stewardship and environmental stewardship are biblically mandated. However, respondents indicated that environmental stewardship is not sufficiently addressed in academic seminaries or in the church. Insufficient support is provided in developing, preaching, and practicing a holistic spirituality that promotes a custodian ethic towards nature. Reverend Tsinye proposes ways in which the curricula of seminary training institutions could be adapted to ensure that environmental stewardship is included as a compulsory dimension in seminary curricula.
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Rantsabo Daniel Tsinye the degree of Doctor of Education.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Education on Rantsabo Daniel Tsinye.
Ada tahu orang banci. Mangke ngani.
That's a stubborn one down from your voice. Hi, yes.
Mangke kuda mangke ngani.
Awak lagi apa ni?
Mr. Pro Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Education. Susana Katharina Maria Freiling, Grat met lof BA.
How? Good doing. Good checking. You can stop now.
Oliver Kiabua.
Good.
Vangile Joyce Majola.
Sorry, ma'am.
Oh,
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Mary Kay.
No.